What's good, guys? It's Too Much Swag here, coming at you with MW3 multiplayer gameplay. And sorry I sound so dead. It's because I'm real mad right now because there's something that happened with my paycheck money. It's the second time something bad happened to it, something wrong happened. The first time was actually my fault. You see, because when you sign up at SYP, they give you an address on where you're supposed to be working at and shit. And they explain to you how much you get paid. They in orientation they explain everything. So in orientation they gave me a website where I'm supposed to be going. I Google mapped it. They told me what train to take, and I took the train to wherever I gotta go. But I got lost. So when I got to the place, I got lost and I started asking people. I was like, "Oh, miss, do you know how to get here?" She was like, "Oh, you gotta go to that building." I'm like, "What the hell you sending me to that building? I work in PAL Play Street. That's outside." And she was like, "Nah, trust me, it's in there." And I was like, "Alright." So I didn't believe her, so I went to another dude. He was like, "Yeah, it's in that building." I'm like, "Yo, why is everybody telling me to go in this building? I work outside." And then I went inside the building and asked the security guard that worked in the building. I was like, "Miss, I need to get to this place." She was like, "Yeah, that's right here, that's right here." I'm like, "Alright." So I went inside, and one of the girls told me to sign in, and I signed in. And then I was like, "Miss, am I in the right place?" To one of the staffs. She was like, "Yeah, you are." And I was like, "Oh, alright." So I went, and they sent me to a daycare with the 4 and 5-year-olds, and I started working there for 2 weeks. And when 2 weeks passed, it was time to give out debit cards for our paycheck. And they called everybody's name, and they gave everybody the debit cards, and they asked whoever don't got the debit cards raise their hand. I raised my hand, and they look all over through their roster. They look everywhere. They look through the rosters. They look through schedules. They look through mad shit, and they didn't find my name. And I was like mad. I was mad. I was like, fuck. I knew I was working in the wrong place. And so the supervisor that I used to work with in the daycare called my real supervisor. So instead of making you guys so confused, the supervisor I used to work with the daycare was called Melissa, and the supervisor that I was supposed to work with in PAL was called Tamara. So Melissa called Tamara, and she was like, "Oh, that I have one of your patients, one of your students here. His name is Matthew Sanchez." She was like, "Oh, yeah, we was looking for him." And then she was like, "Oh, but we don't have his debit card. Do we have it?" And Tamara was like, "Yeah, we got it, but he has to come over here and get it." She's like, "Alright, no problem. Can I get the address so you can know where to go?" She gave her the address. She told her what train I gotta take. And then I was staring at Melissa, and then her eyes just got bigger. And then I was waiting till she hung up the phone. She was like, "Oh, okay, thank you, bye." She hung up on Tamara. And I was like, "Miss, what happened? Why you look like that?" She was like, "Oh, that I gotta take this train to go to Brooklyn." I'm like, "I gotta go to Brooklyn, yo?" I do not know anything about Brooklyn. I do not know, I don't know Brooklyn. I never been to Brooklyn ever in my life. I was like, I gotta go to Brooklyn to go there. So she gave me the paper of the address and what train I gotta take. I took the train to Brooklyn, and again, I get lost. I started asking people. They were sending me different places. This white girl sent me to a building. This other white guy sent me to fucking La La Land. And I just stopped, and I called the number, and she was like, "Oh," and she came, and she picked me up, and then we went back. And she was like, "Oh, that we was looking for you, Matthew, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, "Oh, alright." And I asked her, I was like, "You got my debit card?" She was like, "Yeah, do you got the timesheet that you worked when you was with Melissa?" I was like, "Yeah." So I gave her the timesheet. She gave me my debit card. We did a nice exchange there. You know, I got my debit card for some timesheets. You know, but whatever. But so when I gave her the timesheet, I was like, "Miss, is there any chance that I'm gonna get paid?" She was like, "Yeah, you're gonna get paid." I was like, "Yes." And then she said, "But." I was like, "Oh shit." She's like, "But you're gonna get paid in paycheck number 2." I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta wait another paycheck to get paid." I was like, mad hype. I'm thinking I'm gonna get paid, you know, get my HDPVR, get my channel going, blah blah blah. But no, I gotta wait another 2 weeks to be able to get my money, to be able to get my HDPVR. So she told me I get paid for paycheck number 1 when paycheck number 2 come out. It was a win-win. It was a win-lose. It was like a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing was I was gonna get paid 4 times as much in paycheck number 2. The bad thing was I really wanted the money in the HDPVR right there and then, but I had to wait. So that was one of the problems. And the second problem in paycheck number 3, what happened was that we have something I call timesheets. I think y'all already know what timesheet is, but timesheets is to sign in the time you came in, the time you clocked out, so they can know the hours you worked in, when you worked, see if you have the amount of 25 hours. You know, timesheets is the thing that gets you paid. So when I was talking about the first problem, when when we did that little stage, I gave her timesheet week 1 and timesheet week 2, and then those were the timesheets and the money that I had to get paid, like I that went wrong, and then she told me that I have to wait until paycheck number 2, and then paycheck number 2 that I signed timesheet week number 3 and timesheet week number 4. So all those 4 timesheets I got paid, and that came on to $600 something. So that's what timesheets are. It's just, if you don't sign a timesheet, you ain't gonna get money. So in paycheck number 3, you got timesheet week number 5 and 6. I signed timesheet week number 5, and when week number 6 came, we signed in too. But in that same day, she was supposed to send it, but like on payrolls are due every Tuesday of the week that you're gonna get paid. So the week where we were supposed to get paid for paycheck number 3, we had a trip on Tuesday. So when we came back, my supervisor was like, "Oh, I'm gonna send the timesheets in." I was like, "Alright, miss, just do what you gotta do." So when we came back, she truly forgot. And when I go and check the balance on my credit card, I noticed that I only got paid for timesheet week number 5, and she forgot to sign given week number 6. So now I gotta wait for my 4th paycheck to get paid for timesheet week number 6 and week number 7. It was hectic. It was hectic, but it's good now. I'm gonna get my money, and that's all I know. But I'm gonna end this short. I hope you guys liked this video. I hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe, like, and share, and subscribe to GD Productions too. So as I said again, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.